Hello, my name is Anthony, and these are the 10 must-know facts about UFC. Number 10. The first fighter to wear gloves. UFC fighters didn't wear gloves until UFC 14. The open-fingered fight glove made its first appearance in 1994, when pro boxer Melton Bowen wore them into the octagon against Steve Jenham at UFC 4. The gloves help reduce injury, and have surely saved lives. Number 9. A UFC champion who only won 2 fights. When Ken Shamrock was injured, he could not continue to the finals at UFC 3. Jenham came in to face Harold Howard for the tourney title. He won by submission, and went on to defeat the also aforementioned Bowen at UFC 4. But he would never win another MMA fight after that, losing to Tank Abbott, Marco Ruiz, and Jason Godsey before calling it a career. Number 8. The UFC is the Louisiana purchase of modern sports. Zuffa purchased the UFC in 2001 from Cephamore Entertainment Group for over $2 million. According to the terrific site MMA Payout, UFC 141 ranked in 3.1 million on Gate alone. Not so much a random fact, but worth pointing out in my opinion. It shows how far the sport has come since that time. A slam-bang deal this was for the White and Fertitta brothers. Number 7. The longest winning streak in MMA. The longest winning streak in MMA history has held for 32 consecutive fights, and is held by Igor Vovchanchyn between January 1996 and May 2000. Number 6. The first MMA fight. The first publicized fight, pitting different styles of combat against each other, occurred all the way back in Shanghai in 1909, when British boxer Hercules O'Brien tangled with Guo Yan-ha, a Chinese wushu fighter. Number 5. UFC 1 was originally going to have a moat around the cage. Yes, I'm serious. They even wanted alligators too. Somebody even considered electric fencing. Seriously. Number 4. America's first MMA fighter, Theodore Roosevelt. President Roosevelt had numerous hobbies, and one of them was fighting. He wrestled, boxed, and practiced judo most of his life. In fact, he was the first American to earn his brown belt. Number 3. UFC events are illegal in New York because of kitchen staff. UFC can't run in New York City because of the Las Vegas chefs. Other states are desperate to bring in the UFC and the economic benefits it brings, but New York City remains strangely at odds with licensing the MMA brand. The reason the Culinary Union is using their influence to block UFC is because they're in dispute with the UFC owner. Number 2. UFC based itself on a WWE business model. MMA's global success was based off what Vince McMahon did with the pro wrestling. However, everything that happens in the ring is fake in WWE, whereas the fighting is real in MMA. Everything else, the pay-per-view format, the weekly TV shows, the personal feuds to sell fights, it's all learned from WWE's success. Dana White admits this, saying, "McMahon is an animal, and he looked up and copied the UFC business model from. He is the guy that basically created the pay-per-view market. In many ways, says the WWE, really helped to ensure the UFC's success." Spike TV asked McMahon if he would mind a UFC show following after the ending of Monday night's Raw show. Not seeing the UFC as a competition, McMahon said, "No problem." And number 1, UFC might be leaving their home of Las Vegas. Las Vegas is the first capital of the world. The UFC was founded there. Ironically, it is also the very worst state for UFC to promote fights in, which is why MMA's #1 company is talking about leaving Nevada. When a fight goes 5 rounds, the judges are responsible for declaring the winner based on points, but Nevada judges have terrible records for giving blatant wrong decisions. Also guys, just want to put a little bit of a disclaimer. If I do happen to pronounce anything wrong, I truly apologize for that. I am not an MMA viewer. Hopefully you guys don't mind my pronunciation for some of the names and stuff like that isn't too on key. I'm not very familiar when it comes to the MMA, but I'm trying to get a little bit better out there, but I am just a commentator for this channel. So hopefully you guys don't go too harsh on me because I do not know how to pronounce every single thing, but I do try my best. Either way, those are the 10 must-know UFC facts. What are your thoughts? Tell us in the comments below. And thank you for watching.